Power Talk.
Power Talk with Iman Rappetti. Weekdays, 9 a.m. to noon.
On Power 98.7.
Now we're talking.
Good morning to you, my beautiful Power family. I'd love to welcome you officially this morning to the second in our ongoing Power Dialogues on race. In just a few moments, we kick off a conversation that has never happened in the way it's about to in South Africa before. In it, we will traverse the controversial terrain of belonging, separation, difference and diversity in a country like ours that still wears its wounds in the same way that patched bikers wear their emblems. You know I love talking in pictures, so before I tell you any more, let me lay this power jam on you to set you up for this historic, unprecedented power dialogue that I hope will rev your engines and get you thinking. All will be revealed just now. All right, so on a serious note, let's perhaps start with the picture for those of us who don't know. How would you describe the biking scene in South Africa right now? Is race important? Rod?
Absolutely. As with everything else in South Africa, race always becomes a conversation piece. It's about how we tackle it. Topi mentioned earlier on, it's the word brotherhood, I think, that makes the biggest difference. We've got a common passion, we've got a common desire, and it's based on that we look at each other and respect each other. It's not about color at the end of the day. It's about who you are as a biker, what kind of respect you've got for each other, and the respect that you give is the respect that you're going to get back in return again.
I think the intention of this discussion today is not to impose a narrative on you. If the divide isn't as stark as it is in other places in South Africa, and our listeners have spoken to us about not being able to go to certain restaurants or going somewhere and being looked at in a way that says, get out, you don't belong. If that's not the case, I want us to learn how it is that in such a quote-unquote rough community, you have found each other and you have found a sense of community that transcends racial narratives and racial lines.
Biking has always been a different scenario than everyday life. I always say if the country of South Africa can be more like bikers, can you imagine what nice place we'll stay in? It's just all a mindset, mentality, and it's the only people that can change it is the people on the ground.
Yes, all right, let's take some comments from the floor. And you know this voice, it's Ike.
In everywhere, anywhere else in the world, including South Africa, where black and white dynamics exist, there's always racial politics. The blacks below, whites on top. Whether it's religious, whether it's capitalism, whether it's Islamic. So here, the bikers, they live in a very different world from the rest of the world. I mean, for starters, biking is an elitist. I mean, how many black people from Umlazi, from Mushoba Shobana, from Orange Farm can access the biking, the price of biking and all that? Therefore, to suggest that biking industry, it's away from politics, it is living a lie. It is a lie of biblical proportion, of which I'm so shocked.
All right, well, let's put it to the panel. I mean, part of the objective today is to have a real conversation. So, Billie Jean, how do you respond to that?
Affordability has got nothing to do with racism or vice versa. You know, racism has got nothing to do with affordability.
I want to know, when you talk about this idea of superiority and inferiority, I want to know from you exactly where you think that comes from, so we can have a substantive conversation.
I think for us to get to that, we need to go way back in history, but I think it's a psychological thing, because white people, you know, they got a white skin, we got a black skin. You know, they say they suppose say white is better than black. I think it's a psychological thing. The first time they saw a black man, they said, he's black, I'm white, I must be better than him.
Iman, this is Kamza from Aidume Mishini. I just wanted to answer again on Ike when he says, you know, money, Repsols and all that. At the moment, you've got black elite guys who are buying the Mercedes, the C63, the Land Rovers and all that, so they can afford the bikes. It's not about affordability. Here we are trying to break the racial barriers.
Can I say this in intellect? It's all good to do kitchen soup and all that. You know, our problems are bigger than kitchen soup. That I buy, you know, a soup here and over there for black children in Shobani and riding the bike. But however, there are underlying problems anywhere else inside the country. That's why I said to you, whenever there's black and white dynamic elsewhere, there is a question of race, because you'll find that by virtue of historical imbalances, blacks come from a poor disadvantage and they become lower class.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. I'm a biker. I used to belong to a club that belonged to Rambo, and I don't belong to a club anymore.
Sorry, hold on, Neo. Why don't you belong to a club anymore? You get the sense from this conversation that, belonging to a club is almost like a lifelong commitment. Why did you leave?
one could look at it that way. But in my honest opinion is somewhere along the line, biking lost its meaning to a lot of people. The comment that I wanted to make was, I hear how everybody is putting it eloquently that there's no this, there's no that. I think statements like that are what will throw us off and will delay any progress that we could potentially make.
Okay, and that's where we leave it. We bring to an end the second in our series, our Power Dialogues on Race. It is exactly 10:31.
Power Talk with Iman Rappetti. Weekdays, 9 a.m. to noon.
On Power 98.7.
Now we're talking.